Now, qualifications for a broker's license is much the same as a salesperson's license, with the exception of the 60-hour pre-licensing course is a broker's pre-licensing course. And the sales associate has had to have proof of active real estate license for at least 24 months out of the past 36 months. Applicants that do not maintain an active current real estate broker must submit the following: application and proof, active real estate salesperson license from any state for at least 24 out of 36 months, high school diploma or equivalent, completion of a 60-hour course, any other information requested by the commission, and pass a state exam. A real estate broker is licensed to buy, sell, exchange, or lease real property for others for a fee and may operate as a sole proprietorship, partnership, corporation, or limited liability company. The real estate brokerage may be independent or part of a regional or national franchise. Those who may serve as a qualifying broker must be licensed in Alabama. Their principal business must be real estate, and they must be in a position of actual supervision on a full-time basis. Serving as a qualifying broker for more than one company. No person may serve as a qualifying broker at more than one location unless all companies consent in writing the company and purpose for the qualifying broker, files written consent with the commission, and they're doing business from the same location. When there's a termination of the qualifying broker, must notify the commission in writing and return the license of the terminated licensee to the commission. Temporary qualifying brokers must designate a temporary qualifying broker within 30 days of a vacancy of your qualifying broker. Must be broker or salesperson for at least 1 year prior to filing. May only serve up to 6 months before a licensed qualified broker is designated. If a licensed qualified broker is not designated after 6 months, the company license will become inactive. Operating from home is allowed for a licensed broker living in a rural area of the state. It must be set up and maintained as an office. It cannot be used for living purposes. Used by broker only, not as a place for an additional licensee. They must have a separate business phone and identified as a real estate office. Relocating a brokerage office. You must notify the commission within 30 days. Include an old and new address. Return all the brokers and salespersons' licenses to the commission and pay a $25 fee transfer for each license. Every Alabama real estate firm must be properly licensed with a company license and a qualifying broker's license. At a minimum, a branch office must have at least 2 licenses, a qualifying broker's license and a branch office license. Sign requirements for a brokerage is the fact that it needs to identify the real estate company, be visible to the public. Now, it's not required to be outside, but it needs to be before entering the established, maybe on a door or a window, somewhere where the person knows when they open that door that they're entering a real estate brokerage. Estimated closing statements. Licensees representing buyers and sellers must present estimated closing costs prior to contracting. The buyer must present before signing the offer, and the seller must be presented before the offer is presented, and failure to do so may result in disciplinary action. Dispersing of the trust funds. Trust funds must be dispersed by the qualifying broker within 7 days of consummation of the transaction. No trust funds may be dispersed by the qualifying broker unless or until written agreements of all parties or a court order. Let's talk about the all-important trust fund account, also known as escrow. All funds belonging to others must be deposited into the broker's trust account. Although a qualifying broker is allowed to hold earnest money without deposit if contract permits, salespersons and associate brokers are not allowed to hold undeposited checks or cash. The money must be turned over immediately to the qualifying broker. Purpose of the trust funds: to secure and protect the consumer's money, and it must be held in a separate federally insured account or accounts in Alabama. The qualifying broker must be a signatory on the account with the authority to deposit, withdraw funds, and write checks as necessary. Okay, trust funds. Advance rents and security deposits to be held by the broker providing services to the owner, as well as earnest money and all other considerations. Change of broker providing services to the owner. Complete accounting of all funds, and the funds shall transfer to the successor broker. And then broker providing services is responsible to the public and commission for all funds. Broker must promptly account for all funds when requested by the commission. Post-dated checks or anything other than cash or an immediately cashable check are not to be accepted as earnest money. The escrow account checkbook needs to be balanced as soon as possible after the receipt of each statement. Records must be kept for at least 3 years. A complete record of the funds belonging to others, showing to whom the money belongs, date deposited, date of withdrawal, and other pertinent information is required.